Have you been thinking, I want to speak and I want to grow my business, but I'm not a professional speaker? How do I do it? Well, then you're going to want to listen into this episode where I talk about the 3 ways that you can speak without being a professional speaker or having any past experience. Hello, lovely dynamic women. Welcome to the Dynamic Women podcast. I am Diane Rolston, your host. And today I'm going to talk about 3, count them, 1, 2, 3 different ways that you can speak to get your message out into the world, to talk about your business, to share more about you, your products, your offerings, all that goodness without even being a professional speaker. First off, let me talk about who is a professional speaker. What, denotes someone being a professional speaker? Well, I'm part of the Canadian Association of Professional Speakers. In the US, there's the National Speakers Association. There are also many other professional speaking organizations, including the Global Speakers. And the key thing is, speakers are people who get paid to speak. So whether you are a keynoter, a workshop leader, a facilitator, a group coach, a professor, an MC, and there are many more, you are a speaker. Now, for caps, you have to be making $50,000 from speaking minimum per year. Plus, you have to, ethically be a good speaker. And so different organizations or associations have different criteria. Now, there still are professional speakers out there who are being paid to speak, who are amazing, who don't have a designation, who aren't part of an association. That's up to them. When you are part of an association, it does give you credibility. It also can connect you with the right bureaus, the right opportunities, and you're, professionally part of your people, your peers, your colleagues. Now, I'm just saying that so if anyone does want to go that route, there's that option. Also, if you're wanting to practice your speaking and you're new, I do suggest that you go and do Toastmasters. That is something I did in order to refine my speaking ability, to be able to practice, get feedback in a professional setting. But that doesn't necessarily teach you how to grow a speaking business. But today, I wanted to talk to you about how you can be brought in to speak, even if you are not a professional speaker and have no desire to be. Because really, what are the benefits of speaking? I'm going to actually do another whole episode on that. I'm going to do a 5-part series. So just take note as to which part of the series this is, and know that there are going to be 4 other parts to this series. But today, I really want you to know about these 3 opportunities, because there are fee-based speaking. So you get paid to speak, right? Then there are speak to offer, where you don't maybe necessarily get paid to speak, or you get a lower amount, you don't get your full fee, but you get to offer. And there are also many opportunities where you get to speak and talk about yourself, promote yourself by providing education, answering questions, maybe a presentation. And so I'm going to talk about these different opportunities that you can have, and I want you to think about them as marketing opportunities. Okay, I have a lot of people in my Dynamic Women Facebook community. It's an online community. It's free. Check the notes to see a link so that you can join us as well. Many people, when they come in, I ask them, what's something you want to learn about? And a lot of times people are saying marketing. And so speaking is one really amazing way to do marketing for your business. I'm going to talk a little bit more in another episode about my story and how different types of speaking I've done and the benefits of the different types of speaking. So make sure you tune into that one as well. But today, let's talk about the 3 different kinds. I'm going to give you also a really, really basic result that I've had from these 3 different ones. I've had way bigger results, way bigger, but I'm going to keep it super duper small so that you can think about maybe what is realistic for you. I'm not guaranteeing these numbers, but they are possible. And they are showing the reality that you might not have a very big audience, but I don't want that to make you feel bad, because there are still many opportunities and really great results that you can get from it. So the first way that you can speak without being a professional speaker is to speak at events, right? Sometimes there are networking groups that will invite someone to come on and speak for 12 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes about themselves. It might be a lunch with the speaker, but the speaker maybe is going to be there actually giving a proper talk for 45 minutes to 90 minutes. And so for those, you might want to be more of a professional speaker, or at least have some confidence and some experience in speaking. However, at these events, you can definitely have these smaller spots. So I'll just kind of speak in the virtual world, but know that these can be definitely done in person. This way, if you're thinking virtually, that expands the number of people you can speak to. It also expands the number of opportunities that you can have. So an event, right? There is maybe let's go with a 10-minute speaking spot. You go on, you're maybe given the floor, and you talk about a topic. So I was talking about life balance. At the end of it, I said that I'm giving away an audit of what you need in order to be balanced in life. What you need in order to be balanced in life. There were only 10 guests at this event. 10 guests. One of them's probably the host. One of them was maybe me. So maybe there were 8 guests. I don't remember fully. But I wrote down 10 guests. I had 2 of those people, so that's 20%, 2 of the people ask for audits with me. Now, these were free audits. And out of those 2, one of them became a sale. So that was $997. So I don't remember which of my programs was bought, but one program was bought at $997. So me going and speaking at that event got me 1 client at $997. That's pretty good, right? So of the 10, 20% came to connect with me. That one of those, so 10% of the people, I was able to turn into a client from the lead. So events are great because, and the other 2 options are going to be great too, because I also got to know the host better. And the other cool thing is, one of the people there reached out to me later about speaking to her group. See? So it's not always about marketing to a client. It could be marketing to another host of another event or to another opportunity, right? Plus, it's relationship building with the event host. However, I'm going off topic. There's a lot more strategy I can mention about it, but I want to just kind of bring it in. Events. Okay, usually meetings, networking, a group that already meets that you get to come in and educate. And that's the key thing. You want to do your best to educate them, right? In 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 25 minutes, you're not going to pitch to them, right? So you're going to give something, give a gift of some sort, which is your lead magnet. That's, if you're online on a website, you'll see you can have this report, this checklist, this audit, this blueprint, my templates, whatever. Just put your email here. So that's a lead magnet or a gift you can give. The second opportunity are, and I'm going to speak again virtually, summits, right? So summit is something that has, maybe it's a day, 2 days, it could be longer. And think of it more like a conference where there are multiple speakers. Some of these are going to be interview style. Some of these will be just you get to come on and just talk about whatever by yourself. But if you're not a professional speaker, it's really great when these are interviews. So those are going to be ones to look for. When they're interviews, and you want to look for ones where you get to provide the questions so that it takes the conversation in a place that you want to go and can help you to prepare better like you're not going to read your answers, but you kind of know where you're going, you know what you want to share. So it's going to give the audience the best content. At least me as a host, I want my guests to be able to provide the questions so that I can ask the best ones and make them look good, and my audience gets the best content, right? So giving you an example, I was on a summit and I also promoted to my list about this summit. And in the audience for my talk, because there were multiple talks happening at the same time, there were 6 guests, 6 attendees listening to my interview. And at first I was disappointed because there were supposed to be like hundreds, if not thousands of people on this summit. But I want you to, again, not be discouraged by this. 6 guests. I gave away a gift of some sort. I don't remember which one it was. But from that, I got 2 leads. From those 2 leads, I had one of them reach out to me, and she wanted to be part of something that I was offering and become a client. And from that, actually, no, sorry, I lied. 2 people, those 2 leads became 2 clients, each of them purchasing something for about $12.50. So the total profit from that was $24.97. $24.97. Pretty good, eh? So that was if there were 6 guests there, that was a close rate of like 33%. 2 leads became 2 clients. Now, they both didn't happen at the same time. One happened, and then a while later, another happened, which was pretty cool, wasn't it? Yeah, really cool. So this summit option, the other benefits of that are there are all these other people there speaking. And so you can connect with them. You can go and see where they have spoken at, and you can then potentially go and speak at the summit for the next year of this talk if it goes really well. You might also have the opportunity in summits to provide a VIP gift. Now, the VIP gift is usually something that you will normally charge for, but you're going to give it for free to the VIPs. And the VIPs are usually at the summits the people who have paid to be there, paid to get the recordings, or paid to get to be able to get extra bonuses. So these are really great people to be offering to, because the VIPs, when they already are comfortable paying for things. And so these are the people that you want to give a VIP gift to. So if you're asked at a summit, can you provide a gift plus a VIP gift? Say yes and figure out what to give them. I encourage you to give something that is going to be something passive for you. So for example, a mini course, maybe a group session, a recording of something really good that they would want that positions you as an expert. The third opportunity is to be on someone's podcast. And maybe with all of these too, you're thinking, oh my gosh, but how do I get on people's, speak at their events? How do I get to be part of a summit? And how do I get on someone's podcast? In another episode, I will talk about all of these 3, okay? And I'll talk about more strategies around how to do that. If you really want to know that right away, if you want that to be like the next episode I launch, please pop in the comments and let me know, like, this is the one I want next. And then I'll cover that. And just so that you know, kind of some of the other things that are coming are, I'm going to talk about some myths that you've been led to believe as a speaker that's maybe stopping you from doing that and from getting the business results you want. I'm also going to talk about 3 keys to getting off to a fast start in growing your audience and building your income with some speaking. I'm also going to talk about the 10 benefits of speaking that maybe you're not even thinking about could be good for you. So I'll talk about all those. But let's go back to podcasting. So I was on someone's podcast, and because no one was there live with us, I have no idea how many guests, how many people listened to it, how many potential buyers they were. No idea. Absolutely no idea. However, I gave a gift, and I had a bunch of people sign up for the gift, and as time goes on, more people have been signing up for the gift because a podcast lives on. An event is only for the people that are there. A summit is for the people that are there and the people that paid for the recordings or are getting the recordings. And then a podcast lives on. and lives on. And even the better podcasts are the ones that also they will promote it on their YouTube channel. So I don't know where you're viewing this or listening to this right now, but this is every time I do one of these, it is my YouTube video on my YouTube channel, Diane Rolston YouTube channel. It's also on the Dynamic Women podcast. So there are 2 opportunities. So if you're going to be interviewed on a podcast, wouldn't it not be amazing if you could be on both platforms as a podcast and on YouTube? Just saying, that's a really great opportunity to look for. Now, just like the summits where I talked about being interviewed, that's kind of the normal way to do it. Podcasts also have interviews. Now, if the podcaster has some sort of special way that they do it, you want to be listening to a bunch of episodes, you want to see, do they have set questions they like to ask? Do they have a section where it's always the same? You want to know about that. So providing your questions again for a podcast host is really beneficial, same reasons as before. And when I have people as guests on my podcast, I encourage them. I ask them, what questions do you want me to ask you? And for a 25-minute podcast, thinking about there needs to be time for an intro and outro. We're looking at even more like less time. So thinking about offering maybe 5 questions, 7 questions if it's more than 25 minutes. It also depends on how long your answers are. So you want it to feel like a tennis match, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So they'll ask you the question, you give an answer, but don't like drone on for 10 minutes because they're not going to be able to ask you all the questions and they're going to get bored. Okay. So let me give you an example. And again, reminder, these are all super minimum examples, not my best results. I'm giving you almost the worst results so that you can just see what the opportunities are. So again, one of the podcasts I was on, I had no clue how many people were listening to it or have listened to it. I could go and see the download numbers of it, but I haven't. Okay. So I'm on this podcast. I received one phone call from someone who leaves me a message, says, Diane, I just heard your podcast episode with so-and-so, and I'd like to talk to you about coaching. Great. So we jumped on a phone call. So that just cost me my time, right? That was an investment though. And then they signed up for one of my coaching packages, and that was a value of $88.20. So $8,820. So when we add this up, I did 3 separate talks, which you can easily do even without being a professional speaker, right? Other than my an outline or some basic questions, I did not practice this. I did not create a PowerPoint slide, or a presentation of any fashion, no handout, nothing. And I was able to bring in, I'm not going to do like the super accurate math, but it's like $14,000 from, let's say, average it out, 90 minutes of being either interviewed or speaking in a way not professional. Right? Now, there are ways to be more professional, to do a better job for sure. But I was not a fee paid speaker in this case, but I made money on the back end by marketing myself very wisely in these opportunities. So what do you think? Do you think that you could take on one of these opportunities, that you could go and look for events to speak at, that you could look for summits to speak at, that you could look for podcasts to speak on? You totally can. And I encourage you to do so. And if you're like, I don't know if it's going to be a good site, a good host, if they have my best interest in mind, I want to let you know. Again, I'm going to talk about that more in some other episodes. However, I do have some opportunities for you to market to my audience if you'd like to. So in the notes, I'm going to be putting a link there so that you can learn more about how to be on the Dynamic Women podcast as one of our guests on a solo episode where the episode is all about you, including like we share your bio, we share your gift or your lead magnet. I am also going to share with you opportunities if you want to speak on one of our summits. So we have the Dynamic Women Summit coming up on April 21st and 22nd. If you want to be a speaker on that, great. There's going to be more information about how to be able to do that. and really market your business, but in a way that is still providing so much value, so much richness to the people listening to you. So, what's the next step for you? Is it to reach out to me and my team and to be part of this opportunity? Is it to go out into the world and see what else is out there for you? I hope so, because one amazing way to market your business is through speaking. If you haven't yet, make sure you hit subscribe to this. Also, share it with a friend, someone else who you think would benefit from learning more about speaking in their business, even if they're not a professional speaker. And until next time, stay dynamic, everyone. Bye.